Can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Show with no name. Time for liftoff. Let's go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on. Get on with it.
Ignition.
Get on with it. Venga ya.
Liftoff. Liftoff.
Here we go. Show with no name. Just what the doctor ordered. Justo lo que necesitabas. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. And get ready for the ride of your life. With the show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Yes, it is. You know it. Let's go. Welcome, amigos. Welcome to the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. I trust that you've been with my buddies Rob Grams and Fitz. It's a great way to start your day with two of my great friends. And you can catch them every morning here on Vaughn Radio. If you have the Vaughn Radio app, you can also find the Probo Show and No Excuses wherever you get your podcasts. So you have no excuses. Oh, and speaking of podcasts, unfreaking believable, guys, FYI, the podcast that started in my daughter's bedroom has reached 750,000 downloads. What the fuck? Are you serious? That's incredible. Unbelievable. And the only way that FYI has reached 750,000. I mean, it's a milestone. 1 million is right around the corner. That's incredible. The only reason that's possible is thanks to you. So thank you, Show with No Namers, FYIers. Thank you so much for getting what we do here. You know, I think that's the coolest part. You get us, nos entiendes, you get what we do, and that is just amazing. It's a symphony, if you will.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right. Find out more about our master's programs. You can find out more about our one-to-one, our group classes. You've got Vaughn Town. You've got Weekend Town. So many amazing initiatives for all levels, for all budgets, and also for all schedules, all timetables. And just remember, my British friends, they don't say schedule, they say schedule. Tomato, tomato. All right, well, amigos, let's kick off with our first interactive section where you are urged to participate in your interactive English class. Folks, it's your pop quiz. Come on.
Yes, 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 yes. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz here on the show with No Name. This is where we take a look at the many materials, the wealth of resources available at Von Tienda. We've taken a look at many of my books. As you know, I hope you have my books. We've taken a look at our translation booklets. We've looked at our Speak English, which is what we're going to look at today. Speak English B2, which is a material we've got available. And it's for you English superstars out there. Okay, this is not for the faint of heart. So we're going to listen to this. It's a pretty recent material. It came out last year. So if you don't have this one, I'll forgive you. Os perdono. But you should definitely get your hands on it because it's got all that totally native vocabulary. You've got vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation points, expressions, as always, common mistakes, and you love them. You know you love them. Phrasal verbs. That's right. And you can pick this up for $15.75. So just under 16, te enseño otra forma de decirlo, just shy of, shy como tímido, just shy of 16 euros. So it's 15, no llega a, just shy of. Apúntate esa. De hecho, lo voy a apuntar porque es un buen double trouble, right? He's very shy and he's just shy of his 5th birthday. Es que ahí la tengo escrita. It pays to pay attention. Speaking of double troubles, aquí vale la pena prestar atención because things come up. Well, reviewing is part of the language, part of any language learning process. So this is Speak English B2. Also, since we're talking about our pop quiz and our first challenge, if you like a good challenge, don't forget to come out to our next Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's going to be on April 1st. Mark your calendars. I know many of you go. I go religiously. Last month, it was Richard Vaughn at the helm. This month, we've got the one and only Fitz. So you know it's going to be a lot of fun. Mark your calendars, April 1st, 2025. It's 8 p.m. The venue, el sitio, the venue, great word to know. The venue is the Toast Tap Room. And join us, and I say us because all of us are going to be there. So as we say in English, be there or be square. Be there or be square. O el que no está, pues se lo pierde. Es el lerdo, you know? I don't know. I'm sure there's a similar one there. Be there or be square. April 1st. Also, that's a really funny day in the Anglo cultures in the United States, in England, also in Australia, I believe, as well. And that's because it is April Fool's Day. You say Día de los Tontos Inocentes or something like this, right? Día de los Inocentes, is that it? Right? We call it April Fool's Day. Now, I know it's a different day for you. For us, it's April 1st. So if you have English American friends, as you should, don't trust anything, not a word that comes out of their mouth on April 1st. Only Fitz, well, he doesn't have the option to fool you. I mean, he can't tell you the wrong answer. The answer's the answer. But I'm sure he'll have a couple tricks up his sleeve. Tendrá algunos truquitos en la manga. We'll see you on April 1st. All right, everybody listen carefully. As always, this is a part of the show where you got to listen. The whole show is a listening exercise, but it's also a speaking exercise too. And we're going to talk about trends, tendencias. We're going to talk about graphs. How do you say a graph? ¿Ves? En español dice la palabra. So you guys are not the only ones learning, as always. Un gráfico, of course. Claro, de toda la vida. See, I knew it, but I didn't know it. I couldn't access the word. But now I'm like, I probably would have said, necesitamos un grafismo, pero sería un gráfico, right? And it's something that's used, a visual aid, una ayuda visual, when you're giving a presentation, when you're showing sales forecasts or budgets, right? Presupuestos, or you're seeing how things grow or go up. The typical thing is the ones you see with the stock market, right? Con las acciones. So we're going to learn about that kind of stuff today, as I call it, smart stuff. So everybody listen up, because this is from Speak English B2. And again, this is for superstars. Afterwards, I'll have a couple questions for you as well.
43. Vocabulary. Describing trends and graphs.
Las ventas bajaron ligeramente en marzo.
Sales dropped slightly in March.
Después de este pico, aquí se puede ver una repentina caída de los ingresos.
After this peak, here you can see a sudden drop in revenue.
Nuestro volumen de venta ha aumentado ininterrumpidamente este trimestre.
Our turnover has risen steadily this quarter.
El aumento de las ventas en este trimestre nos ha sido muy útil.
The rise in sales this quarter has been a big help.
No hubo una caída en la demanda después de la caída del mercado.
There wasn't a drop in demand after the downturn.
Después de que el mercado cayera en picado, la inflación subió ininterrumpidamente.
After the market plummeted, inflation rose steadily.
Espero que la caída termine pronto. Las ventas suelen dispararse durante el verano.
I expect the downturn to end soon. Sales usually soar over the summer.
El gráfico muestra que nuestras ventas de repente se dispararon en diciembre.
The graph shows how our sales suddenly skyrocketed in December.
La actividad se disparó en el tercer trimestre.
Activity shot up in the third quarter.
Si las ventas caen de manera acusada, tendremos que lanzar una nueva campaña.
If sales drop sharply, we'll have to launch another campaign.
Aquí puedes ver una caída acusada en las ventas.
Here you can see a sharp drop in sales.
El desempleo se disparó en el segundo trimestre.
Unemployment shot up in the second quarter.
¿Notaste un incremento de solicitudes de trabajo el año pasado?
Did you notice a rise in job applications last year?
Como veis, la demanda permaneció estable hasta abril.
As you can see, demand remained steady until April.
Luego cayó en picado de manera notable.
Then it plummeted dramatically.
Ha habido una tendencia al alza en el último trimestre.
There has been an upward trend in the last quarter.
Estamos notando una tendencia a la baja en la tasa de natalidad.
We're starting to notice a downward trend in the birth rate.
Las estadísticas indican una tendencia al alza.
The statistics point to an upward trend.
La recesión económica empezó a principios de año.
The economic downturn started at the beginning of the year.
El coste de vida ha aumentado ligeramente desde la recesión económica.
The cost of living has risen slightly since the economic downturn. Test yourself.
Ha habido un aumento en la demanda este trimestre.
There's been a rise in demand this quarter.
La demanda cayó ligeramente y después se disparó en mayo.
Demand dropped slightly and then skyrocketed in May.
La tasa de natalidad cayó en picado durante la recesión económica.
The birth rate plummeted during the economic downturn.
Hemos notado un incremento de solicitudes de trabajo este año.
We've noticed a rise in job applications this year.
Nuestro volumen en ventas cayó de manera notable después de las Navidades.
Our turnover dropped dramatically after Christmas.
El coste de vida permaneció estable el año pasado.
The cost of living remained steady last year.
Hay una tendencia a la baja en la tasa de paro.
There's a downward trend in the unemployment rate.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
More information about Weekend Town or any of our amazing initiatives, just go to grupovon.com. Also, if you're following us on social media, then you'll know exactly what we want you to know about when we want you to know about it. So make sure you're following along on social media as well to get information about new initiatives, events such as our trivia night, special deals, all that jazz. You'll be in the know. And this way, well, you never miss a beat, as we say. That's a great idiomatic expression. If you say you never miss a beat, no te pierdes ni un compás, realmente viene a decir, which means no te pierdes ni una. You're sharp, espabilado, no estás al tanto siempre, no te pierdes ni una. You never, ever miss a beat. Y si queremos darle énfasis, we say never, ever. Like my show with no-namers who never miss a beat. Welcome aboard. I see so many students checking in and ready to rock. And that's great. That is great because that pumps me up. Eso me motiva a mí también. And then if we're all pumped up, well, we get that synergy going. All right. Well, as I said, we just heard something from Speak English B2 available at vontienda.com. And well, talking about sales, a lot of, like I said, big words, important words there. But also, I wanted to talk a little bit about graphs and charts. Now, we just said a graph, por ejemplo, is, what is it? Gráfico. I was going to say grafismo, gráfico. And a chart es una gráfica. Are you kidding me here? Wait. Are you? Yeah, gráfico. Acabo de flipar. Guys, we just found a glitch in the matrix. I'm serious. I think we did. We found a glitch. So a graph is gráfico, and a chart is gráfica. Oh my Jesus. It just blew my mind over here. Well, the difference in English. And I quote, thank you very much, Google, for your help over here. Graphs and charts can organize and present complex data or data. Esa palabra se puede pronunciar data or data. Dilo conmigo en voz alta, la que te mole más. Okay, data, whatever floats your boat. Data or data. Tomato, tomato. So graphs and charts can organize and present complex data, making it easier for people to understand and are commonly used for business purposes. Knowing the difference between various types of graphs and charts can help you choose the best one for your project, which is what we're going to look at. The most commonly used graphs or charts, the ones you'll see in the newspaper, ¿cómo ha subido la compra? That's what we're going to focus on today. We're not going to get too mathematical. Why? Because I'll pull my hair out. Okay, that's not my thing. So we're going to look at the basic ones that I think everybody is familiar with, the ones we see, the most commonly used ones. Okay, so now that we've, anything else here? Graphs and charts can organize. Okay, what's the difference? While many people use graph and chart interchangeably, they are different visuals. Charts are tables, diagrams, or pictures that organize large amounts of data clearly and concisely. People use charts to interpret current data and make predictions. Graphs, however, focus on raw data, bruto, and show trends over time. Good God. All right, see, I said we weren't going to get too complicated. All right, well, we're not. This is what I want to see if you know the most common ones out there. The first one is I looked it up. It says gráfico de sectores. I think I've even heard people say quesito. I mean, it looks like those quesitos. You know the one I'm talking about? Okay, it says, bueno, en América Latina, gráfico de torta, gráfico de sectores. Okay, it says in España. Okay, you can look at your expenses. It's like when you put 20% of my money is going to this, 40% is going to this, and you can break it down. This is a really good phrasal verb when we're talking about charts and graphs. And to break it down is desglosarlo. Okay, so the first one, gráfico de torta in América Latina, gráfico de sectores. It looks like quesitos. If I'm not mistaken, I've heard people say, el de los quesitos. So maybe that's just some slang. I need you to use it in context, though. That's number one. All right, the next one, it says diagrama de flujos. Whoa, diagrama de flujos. Let's see how they... I don't know if that, I've never heard that in Spanish. Basically, they help, I'll give you the definition here, okay? They help organize the steps, decisions, or actions in a process from beginning to end. They often include more than one starting point or end point, so different outcomes, diferentes desenlaces, and different paths. You know, these are the ones that have like boxes with arrows. Okay, if we spend this, then and then these are the three outcomes, you know. These are used in the Champions League, for example. Okay, they show and in Spanish, I was going to casi digo la palabra. In Spanish, you call them, I just had it here. Here it is. In Spanish, flujograma, diagrama de flujo de actividades. Whoa. Okay. Organigrama. As I said, the best way, this is why I'm reading you the definition too, so we're clear, because these are tough words. If you either know them or you don't know them here. This isn't, well, I think it's this. Now, if you don't know, take a stab at it. You don't lose anything. All right. And the last one, and listen, guys, I'm learning here too. I didn't know these. This last one you use a lot. It's like, you know, when you're going to give a presentation, okay, and you don't have to write the whole script. You just write, for example, okay, introduction, hello, welcome, questions at the end. You know, then you, and it shows, it just has what we call, I'm not going to tell you, I almost told you, again, vigneta. So it's when you have a list of items, okay, and you put a dot or some kind of little symbol before it, okay, and it's just a way to see the main ideas that you're going to look at in the order you're going to look at them. Okay. So what are those little vignetas called? I didn't know that. So these are all new words for me, guys. If they're not correct, of course, let me know. I'm trusting word reference here. Okay. I can tell you if they're right in English, but in Spanish, you know, don't trust my Spanish, no matter how good it may be. So the first one, use gráfico de sectores. I've even gone over why we use them. Again, we can use that one in percentages. You can use that. I mean, that one's very common to see when you want to look at the whole of something, right? Diagrama de flujos is showing projects and the action you take and the possible outcomes, right? What could happen. Los posibles desenlaces. Great word. So we said to break down, desglosar. We said outcomes, desenlaces. Great vocabulary. I think anybody needs to know, not just people who do business. Okay, and the last one is viñeta. Puse unas viñetas y bueno, para no leer. Because as you know, if you're going to be giving a speech, you don't want to really like read because people know when you're reading. So the best thing to do is kind of learn it and then give yourself a visual, a visual aid. And again, these are all as I said before, visual aids. A ver cómo decís esto. Volviendo a donde hemos empezado. Visual aid. A visual aid. Ayuda visual. Okay, so it's pictures in a speech or writing. People use them if they're going to have any kind of projection, any kind of slides. I remember I used to mix up the word diapositiva con dispositivo. You know, dispositivo is like your phone, right? And diapositiva? Oh, as you can see, I'm still having trouble with it. Maybe I need a visual aid, right? And again, the word aid, think of it. Have you ever seen las cajas estas de primeros auxilio en inglés? Si has visto, pone first aid, primeros auxilio, ayuda. So it's a good, easy way to remember it. So a visual aid. And they're used to, make your communication even clearer. All right, amigos, those are your pop quiz challenges. We have got to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with much more Show with No Name. So if I were you, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2. That's right, part 2 of today's Show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, after today's show, you can learn English with the lovely Jimena Holiday in Test Your English, and she'll do just that. You've also got Rob Grams and Andy Vaughn in the Lunchtime Show. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares, The Salad with Dave Boys, Kyle Miller's Drive Time. You've got Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank, a kickback, casual, relaxed show where Chris will make a cocktail and he will definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypnotize you with his voice. Hipnotizar. Hypnotize you with his voice. He's got a hypnotic voice. That's Chris Frank, one of our latest and greatest additions. Don't forget about Richard Vaughn. Of course, Richard Vaughn. Richard Vaughn and Dave Boys. They're from the old school. And am I missing anybody? For some reason, I feel like I'm leaving somebody out.
Guess who's back? Back again. Yes, he's back. Tell a friend. Yes, he's back. 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 That's right. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez is back on Vaughn Radio.
That's it. That's the Hour to Empower. It's with Jessica Fernandez, and you won't just work on your English there. You'll work on wellness. All right, well, amigos, we've got so much to do, so let's kick off the second part with the Say What soundbite. Come on.
Say what? What?
All right, amigos, you got it. It's today's Say What soundbite. This is where we listen to all different accents, all different situations in English, and we're fine-tuning your ear. Also, your ability to describe what you've heard. So, many different things we're working on in this Say What soundbite. And I guarantee you guys, show with no namers, you have an edge, tenéis ventaja, because you're not just hearing one accent all the time. You've got a lot of different accents here on Vaughn Radio. Here on the Say What soundbite every day, it's somebody from a different continent with a different story they're telling. So, well, we like variety. Variety is the spice of life. Apúntate esa. La variedad es la especia de la vida. Right? Variety is the spice of life. All right, we've looked at a lot of idiomatic expressions so far today, haven't we? All right, well, as always, I want you to listen carefully and we'll see what you can extract from today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the first time.
So at this kickboxing event, they had a facility of like 30,000 people. When the word got out I was going to be there, they sold it out in like 5 hours. And it was amazing because, you know, crowds don't make me nervous.
All right. There you go. He sounds a bit nervous there at the end. No, I think he was just, hesitating. He was trying to word his sentence correctly. Hey, it's totally normal. All right, but you don't want my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your take on it, but I'll give it to you a second time. Also, we're going to check your pop quiz answers as well. We've got a lot of stuff to do. So here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
So at this kickboxing event, they had a facility of like 30,000 people. When the word got out I was going to be there, they sold it out in like 5 hours. And it was amazing because, you know, crowds don't make me nervous.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. This book is the shit. Just one of the many, many materials you can pick up at vaughantienda.com. Also, if you are located in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, please stop by. Stop by. No strings attached. Sin compromiso. We would love to meet you. We'd love to get to know you. And Tell us a little bit about yourself. It's a great skill to know how to do. Honestamente, es una habilidad muy importante, right? When somebody says, tell me about yourself. And I don't mean professionally, because that's usually where the problem comes in. You're in a job interview, and the interviewer says, tell me a little bit about yourself. And you're like, well, I finished college with a degree in this. Then I started interning, haciendo de becario. And then you're like, no, I got that. That's on your resume. Eso lo tengo aquí en tu curriculum. I mean, tell me about yourself, the person. Who am I talking to here? I love aviation and roller coasters, and I'm a big kid, and, and beer. You catch my drift. It's important to be able to sell yourself, right? I'm not saying you got to walk around boasting. Look at me, I'm great. No, nobody likes that. Nobody. Note to self. If you do that, I'm sure there were times in my life when I was younger when I was guilty of being like, let me tell you how great I am. And I'm wait. But that confidence, that's what we're looking for when we speak English, though. Being able to say, I sound great in English, don't I? And being able to say that with confidence. I said it before about Spanish. I said, I make tons of mistakes in Spanish, but I don't sound bad at all. I would say, maybe you disagree. But also there's a lot of hard work behind that. A lot of, oh no, it's not like this. Oh no, we're right. This word, what's that word? Can you say that again? Oh, I'm mixing that word up with this word. It. I think that's one of the greatest things about us here at Vaughn too. All of us, myself, somebody who's been speaking Spanish at home since I was a kid, to Kyle Miller, who just started speaking Spanish about 20 years ago when he moved here. We're all in the same boat. Todos estamos en la misma situación. All right? So we are looking at something in today's pop quiz from Speak English B2. And, I asked you to give me un gráfico de sectores, una diagrama, de flujos, and then viñeta. And I thought those were ones that were common enough that even if you don't work in business or marketing or, sales, como comercial, tienes que poner, el año pasado 80% más de ventas. So some other common ones that you should know, okay, jot these down, apúntalas. Line graph. I've seen these everywhere. You see these in the newspaper every day. A line graph. A line graph is, first it's an L, so it has two planes. You've got vamos a decir, we'll make it up. Okay, the birth rate in the last 20 decades. And you've got 1991. You got the years along the bottom. And then you've got the amount of children that were born going so you got the horizontal and the vertical axis there. Okay, the one everybody knows. Y luego hay una línea. I mean, sometimes it looks like lightning, como un relámpago, right? Because if it goes up and down like a stock, again, these are the ones you'll see with the stock market. Okay, it's called a line graph. Makes sense. Okay, line graph. Another very common one, which you'll see, the amount of visitors at each theme park or whatever. And you see a bar graph, right? So a bar graph it looks like towers. These, I always used to call these the twin tower graphs because that's what they look like. That's called a bar graph. Then you've got pictograph, and that instead of using bars or lines, well, it uses maybe some kind of picture, some kind of image. Right? So 5 stars versus 3 stars. Now you get it. You look at this one, you're like, well, this one's got 5 stars. Well, look, this one's got 3. You're telling a story. You're giving an evaluation with a visual. Instead of saying 4.5, you're showing 4.5, right? So that's a cool one as well. What else have we got? Well, I think the rest of them I asked you for. Let me see. This, we've got a waterfall chart. So that shows variance over time. It looks like a waterfall. We've got a gauge. Eso es muy común también, a gauge. A gauge is like, when it reminds me of those audience applausometers, no? Que mide el aplauso. It's like this thing, it looks like a radio dial a little bit too, these old radio dials. That's a gauge. Okay, audience participation is in the red. We need to put it in the yellow area, right? Then you've got a funnel chart. It's a good word to know as well. A funnel is un embudo, a funnel chart. And those are some of the most common ones. Now, let's see who's with us, and let's see who knows the ones I asked you for. There's Vero. Vero says, morning, beautiful show with no-namers around the universe and beyond. Hello, 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 Vero. Welcome aboard. There's Born to Iron Man. He says, good morning, buddies. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Great to have you with us. We've got Laura. Laura joining us. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no-namers. Rise and shine. Vamos a brillar, vamos a por ello. Rise and shine. There's Open Waters. Open Waters says, good morning, friends. Good morning, Open Waters. Great to have you on board. You've been doing a really wonderful job lately. You did a great job also in our question of the week, which, by the way, this week we will not have a question of the week, but that's perfect because now you've got 2 weeks to work on the next one because I'm going to tell you what it is now. Tell me your favorite board game and why. Okay, ahí lo tienes. What is your favorite? You say juego de mesa, we say de tabla. What is your favorite board game? And always the most important part there is why. So that's another fun one like concerts. Okay, if you're going to participate, it's not going to be this coming Friday because I'll be away for a few days, but it'll be the following Friday. So we'll take a look at those on Friday. Let me see what's today's date. We'll look at those on Friday, the 21st of March. Okay, not the 14th. But you have no excuses, as Fitz's program is called, because you've got almost 2 weeks. Yeah, you've got almost 2 weeks. You got 10 days, 12 days to send it to us. And I think it's a fun one as well. Okay, so what is your favorite board game? That's what we're asking you. Doing another fun one, to get you guys bringing out that inner child, which I know you've all got alive and kicking. Let's see. There's David in the house. David says, good morning, Alberto and friends. Hello, David. Great to have you with us as well. Ready to rock a pie del cañón. There's Chris Valrol. Chris, good morning. She says, morning, amazing show with no namers. Here to the rhythm of the music that my neighbor. Oh, sorry. I started singing a song. To the beat of the rhythm of the night. All right, here to the rhythm of the music that my neighbor, the rapper, oh, cool, has decided to play for the whole neighborhood. Oh, not cool. As you said, I don't miss a beat. Yeah, literally. Good play on words. Very, very punny, Chris Valrol. I love it. Well, Chris, see if you can tune him out. Ignorarle. I know it's hard. Now, also, let me tell you something. One of the greatest investments that I have ever made in my life, and I'm talking about 50 euros, was noise cancellation headphones. It changed my life. I'm serious. That's like possibly, more than my mixing, my soundboard over here, more than the microphone, more, those are all investments. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But I think that was the number one investment. Hey, but yeah. So because sometimes people just are rude, and you can't expect. It sucks, Chris. Believe me, I know you can't expect everybody to be considerate. Some people are like, no, everybody wants to hear my music, and you're like, oh, okay, well, just showing me that you think that shows me you're not very bright. So don't stress it, Chris, and we know what to get you for your birthday. Open Waters. Let's see. We've got Open Waters participating in today's pop quiz. And Open Waters says, my boss asked me to draw up. Wait. You smell that totally native? My boss asked me, a ver si me acuerdo la palabra en español, redactar, to draw up, cuidado, My boss asked me to redactar, to draw up a pie chart. Eso es, los quesitos esos, we call it a pie, piensa, para nosotros es una torta, bueno, como en América Latina, American pie, piensa apple pie, a pie chart, okay, and it breaks things into percentages usually. Okay, so great. My boss asked me to draw. My boss asked me to draw up a pie chart to represent a breakout, not a breakout, a breakdown, but I love that you're trying to use the word, a breakdown. Un desglose, a breakdown of expenses. Excellent job. Wonderful. Just got to fix that, a breakdown. Okay, to break down, desglosar, so a breakdown sería un desglose. Let's see. A flow diagram is the best way to depict a project and its development over time. All right. I've never heard it like that, but it is an easier way, I think, porque es menos sílabas, también es a flow chart. Ahí usaríamos la palabra chart, también como pie. O sea, es más fácil. No te compliques. A pie chart, a flow chart. Okay, we already looked at also a line graph, a bar graph, right? We're looking at the difference. Again, we're not getting too technical here either. These are the ones everybody sees everywhere. You even see them, in the church bulletin. Whatever. You see them everywhere, not just when talking about statistics. They're shown because they're very effective. They work. That's why they're used. You don't even have to speak a language if you understand the numbers and the names of the cities, and you can see the population growth in cities. So it makes communication of info, of data, easy and visually what's the word I'm looking for? Visually adapted. That's the word. Visually adapted. So excellent job. And a flow chart, a pie chart. Oh, we didn't get the third one there. Okay, let's see. Chris Valrol says, I saw the pie chart he presented last week. Great job. Number 2, she used a flow chart to show us the inputs. Absolutely. A flow chart. So pie chart, flow chart. And the last one, he was scrawling. To scrawl is to write. There's a totally native. He was scrawling some bullet points on a piece of paper during the meeting. Eso es. It's key points. So we call them puntos bala, bullet points. And you call them viñetas, which is interesting. I would have never guessed that. I would have said puntos balas. I'm serious. Hey. So, hey, we're all learning. Let's see. Open Water says, I'm not sure about the third one. Maybe bullet points. That's right. Bullet points is the correct one. That's the third one. And let's see. Chris Valrol, she's got something to say about today's Say What soundbite. She says, I heard an American man, absolutely, he is from the US of A, who talks about a kickboxing event, absolutely, that was attended by 30,000 people. Let me check the number and make sure that's the number. Yes, that's right. And he thinks it was amazing. Well, Chris, I've got to say, you got the main idea. You got the point. Now, I've got to be honest, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but as a native English speaker, there's a part where he goes really fast, and you either know it or you don't know it. It's almost like intuition there. And it's the part after 30,000 people. So he says, da-da-da-da, 30,000 people, da-da-da-da-da. And honestly, maybe I'm right. Maybe you let me know, and we'll also see by the amount of people who are able to get it, word for word. But that part, I think, is going to be the doozy, right? That's going to be the part that's going to make you really suffer. But as we always do before the end of the show, I'll let you guys know exactly what's said. We normally have a winner or two, right? Lately, Elena's been doing a wonderful job over there. We've also got Laura, who has always taken this section and run with it. Toma otra expresión supernativa, to take it and run with it. It means you did more than was expected, right? To take it and run with it, right? So it was your turn and you just nailed it. Okay, to continue an activity or process that someone else started. So you take it and you run with it. Oh, and in Cambridge, they say to take the ball and run with it, but you can say it with or without the ball. Okay, we're going to take it and run with it. And that's what you do. I give it to you. I put the ball up. Think of it as like volleyball. I put the ball up and you spike it down. So we'll see if you're able to get it. Let's see. Chris also says, thank God it's rap and not reggaeton. See, Chris? Now you're thinking on the bright side. Hey, that's something that always puts me in my place in life. I always think, when I'm having the best day in the world, things could be worse, things could be better too. And when I'm having the worst day in the world, I think the same thing. Well, things could be worse too. And it always kind of puts things into perspective. Because, some days, I'm sure for all of you, you feel like everything just works out, You wake up and there you go. You're off and you're kind of on automatic pilot and you don't even have to think. And other days where you're like, oh my God, how many cups of coffee do I need today? Thankfully, I'm not having that day today, but man, we've all been there. We've all been there. And especially, I don't know about the rest of the peninsula, but lately in Madrid, we have had a shit ton of rain. Yeah, a shit ton of is muchísimo. I'm sure you could tell from the context. It's been pissing down. I know they taught you it's raining cats and dogs. Yeah, we don't really use that one. We say it's pouring or it's pissing down. But nobody's gonna rain on our parade. Eso es la expresión, amargarnos la fiesta. Nobody's gonna rain on our parade because we've got a lot of challenges up ahead, a lot of English to be learned, a lot of laughs to be had here on the show with no name, as every day. So, folks, you know how this works. We're going to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with tons more show with no name. So, if I were you, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 3 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, it's interactive. Yeah, that's right, interactive. You can interact with most of our shows. And you can always drop us a line on social media. Maybe you want more information. Maybe you want to find out when we're having our next open house. You say puertas abiertas. We say casa abierta. Call it what you will. It's a great chance to get to know not just Vaughn, but other people in your area who are in the same boat as you. Esa expresión ya lo hemos usado 2 veces hoy. To be in the same boat as somebody. All right, well, in this, the third part of today's show, we're going to kick off with today's homophones. Then we are going to take a look at, do we have any? No, we've got, what do we have after that? Oh, right, Say What soundbite. How can I forget? Sure. We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite. Thank God I say them, because then I might go out of order. Salir del orden. So we're going to kick off with our homophone section. Then we've got our Say What section. And then our toughest section, our spelling bee. But the good thing about today's spelling bee, we are traveling. That's right. We're going to go to the USA, baby. So all that and much more here on the show with no name. Let's kick off with homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
Yeah, that's right. It's time for homophones here on the show with no name. This is where we learn to play with words, because if the words sound the same, well, there's probably a little joke in there. And as I told you guys many times, my daughter is all about it. She's always playing with words. And there are times where I'm like, wait. And she goes, Dad, night, caballero. And I'm like, Lara, that was brilliant. So she is blowing my mind. It seems like Daddy is not the only word nerd. All right, well, my amigos, let me give you the 2 words in today's homophones. The first word is a kind of fish, and I know it's a kind of fish that's consumed regularly here in Spain. You call it lubina. Lubina. It's a funny name, Lubina. What's your name? Paco Lubina. I don't know. It sounds like it could be a last name or a town, un pueblo. ¿De dónde vienes? I'm from Lubina. Hey, I'm just saying what it sounds like. Hey, at least it doesn't sound like a disease. Well, yeah, kind of. He suffers from lubina. Padece de lubina. It could be a disease, I gotta say. Gingivitis, lubina, same difference. All right, first word is lubina. Lubina, a kind of fish, as I said, that is consumed regularly here and also in the United States. In fact, we're big fans of this fish. And the second word I want you to give me is the word base. So the support, the bottom part of something, cimiento, base. It's also base militar, not just la base de un edificio. What else? Referencia. It's a very rich word, right? El pie, a pie de la montaña, el base de la montaña. Okay, so, ¿qué más? Basar en, como verbo, también significa vulgar. Usa palabras vulgares. So, wow. También en base en el deporte más famoso americano. Ya sabes cuál. Okay. So those are your 2 words in today's homophones. Are you familiar with the words? Do they sound the same? And we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. I see we've got a lot of people participating. Let me give you your Say What soundbite here for the 3rd time, and then we can get that out of the way. We can check it off the list. Here you go, folks.
So at this kickboxing event, they had a facility of like 30,000 people. When the word got out I was going to be there, they sold it out in like 5 hours. And it was amazing because, crowds don't make me nervous.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. It's Vaughntown. And as you know, Vaughntown is I think that's one of the things that put us as a company on the map. Yeah, nos puso en el map. I think you say the same expression. It put us on the map. Vaughntown and Vaughan Radio. I mean, most people think that when those initiatives came out, respectively, that was the beginning of Vaughan, and it wasn't. It started many, many years before that. So a lot of people, they say that, oh, Richard se ha montado en el dólar, un imperio. I'm like, Richard has done one thing, and he's done it every day of his life, and that's work his ass off, right? Partirse el lomo, I think you say. He has worked his ass off. He still continues to work his ass off. I don't know his financials, but I imagine he doesn't have to. Just, guessing. He's been very successful, and as a great friend of his, it's awesome. It's awesome to call him not just the guy who hired me, but also a great friend, a reference, I think, to many of you. I think well, a lot of us share that same sentiment towards Richard. And we had a great time at the trivia night with him the other night. He really, it was great because he was asking me the Real Madrid score. He was stealing. He has a sense of humor, and he was stealing his granddaughter's French fries. Le estaba pillando las patatas fritas. And it was funny. It was great. It was great to see him. He was really in his element. So I hope you guys will join us for Fitz's, because I know he's going to be there. We're all going to be there. Usually if we miss it, it's because, somebody's under the weather. Alguien está pachucho, algo así. But normally, the regulars are the regulars. The ones who go are the ones who go every month. And I don't just mean that with, the Vaughan Radio crew. I mean that with the listeners. A nice round of applause to those of you. Yeah, there are many of you who I've seen you there time and time again. So keep it up. It's great. You're doing activities in English. You found the secret. It's a blessing. Una bendición. Voy a practicar inglés, tomarme unas cervezas, hacer amigos. Sounds awesome. Not hard to sell it. And it's obviously a free event. It's not like, I meet people when I go to a concert or a club. Yeah, but you got to shell out $50 to get into a club or $100 to go to a concert, right? So, all right, let's take a look over here. We've got a lot of students participating in our homophone section. Open Waters is the first one to take a stab at it. And Open Waters says the 2 words correctly and says, I think they're not homophones. Born to Iron Man says they sound alike. Chris Valrol says they are homophones. Open Waters says, okay, I see. I mixed this up with the instrument. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, on the other hand, en cambio, en vez de in the other hand, me gusta que estás usando la expresión, pero sería on the other hand, referring to the musical instrument, doesn't sound alike. It sounds like mass. All right, you guys, so you're saying the musical instrument doesn't sound alike. It sounds like mass. Mass and the musical instrument is, okay, well, let's see. Now I'm confused. Let's see, open waters. Okay, so the first word is lubina, and the word lubina is a bass. Okay, bass. Yeah, bass is the kind of fish. Okay, B-A-S-S. All right, anybody getting hungry? Bass. B-A-S-S. The second word is base. Right? Think of basement, el sótano. It's a word that obviously comes from that, right? The military base. Entonces voy a decir, no comen lubina en esa base militar. They don't eat, el más famoso en Estados Unidos, Chilean sea bass, del mar de Chile, right? Chilean sea bass on that base. So open waters, you are right. Careful, don't correct something if it's... You said, I think they're not homophones. Well, they're not. Bass is the fish, lubina, and base is la base de algo, la base de, right? We already said it has a million different uses. So Born to Iron Man, no, they don't sound alike. Chris Valrol, nope. They don't. You mixed them up. Open waters, you didn't mix them up. It was the other students. So here's the lesson. Never second guess yourself. Give it up for open waters. Wow. Now, the instrument is a bass. He plays the bass. Sting plays the bass. He's a bass player, right? Ahí sí que son homófonos. So if I had said el bajo y base, entonces sí, pero no dije eso, dije lubina y base. So I think, well, I'm glad we went over that. I thought it was obvious. Open waters. Yes, you were right. Open Water says, I trust my classmates more than I trust myself. Well, hey, I don't blame you. Lo entiendo. I don't blame you. Una expresión muy común en inglés. No te echo la culpa no quiere decir. Bueno, literalmente sí. But I don't blame you. Te entiendo perfectamente, right? So I would trust them too. But everybody slips up. So be careful. Let's review. The fish is bass. Okay? Bass. In fact, there's a very famous like camping store. It's a chain in the United States, and it's called Bass Pro Shops. Bass because they sell fishing equipment and camping equipment, things for the great outdoors, right? The great outdoors, el aire libre, right? Which is great. A lot of them are really, when you go inside, they like set up, they set up some of the tents. So it looks like you're in like a campground. It's kind of cool. If you ever have a chance, it's very American. They're called Bass Pro Shops. Okay, pro como profesional and bass como el pescado. So bass. The bass rhymes with mass. As Born to Iron Man said, you just got the wrong word there, but mass, class, right? Pass. Those words all rhyme with bass. And bass, que es lubina, escrito como lubina, pero es bajo, rhymes with and sounds exactly like bass from baseball, right? The base of any base, la base de cualquier bajo. So excellent job, Open Waters. All right, it's time to move on to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
Boom, 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 boom. Bada, boom, bada, bada. Bada, 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 bada. All right, folks. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here in today's Spelling Bee. Now, today we are going to up the ante again. And we do this from time to time. We don't just spell words, but we also we also use numbers as well. So, as you can imagine, these are going to be cities in a certain, I already told you we were going to the United States on today's trip. So these are cities in some state in the United States. So let's see that. Let's see if you guys know what state they're in as well. I think it'll be pretty easy for some of you basketball fans, maybe. All right. Well, either way, I'm going to give you the city and the population. So as you know, this one's going to be harder than the usual ones because, well, numbers always make it a little bit tougher. This is round one, and this round is reserved exclusively for superstars because I am gonna fly. Are you ready? All right, the first one is Portland, and the population there is 622,882. The next one is Eugene, and the population there is 178,056. The third one is Salem, and the population there is 177,928. The fourth one is Gresham, and the population there is 109,423. The fifth one, Hilsboro, and the population there is 107,976. And the last one is Bend, and the population there is 106,184. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, the Oxford Test of English. You can do it at any of our Vaughan centers: Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. So what are you waiting for? Stop by and find out what's right for you, whether that's materials, whether it's a course, or who knows, maybe it's just, getting familiarized with that area where we're located. And I know I haven't been into all the offices, or have I? Let's see. Madrid, yeah, of course. Barcelona, I don't know if they're at the same place, so I don't know if I've been to the current office. Bilbao, I've been to. I've been to Vigo. I've been to the Valladolid offices. I've been to Valencia offices as well. Santander, and Zaragoza. So honestly, I've been to all the different Vaughan centers. Now, unless they've changed location, but at one time or another, many, many years ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we used to do something called a Vaughan radio tour. And once a year, we would hit the different cities where we were on the air. And that was a lot of fun. I did it with Drew Crosby. I think Kyle Miller came with me up to Vigo once, and that was A lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, let's take a look. We've got Born to Iron Man taking a stab at today's spelling bee here, round one. Let's see. All right, let me get my list here. Where did I put it? Okay, here we go. All right, Born to Iron Man. The first one is correct. All right, the second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is also correct. The fifth one is perfect. And the sixth one as well. Oh my God, folks, give it up for Born to Iron Man. Wait a second. So what are you doing here? Born to Iron Man. I've got another one, a second comment from you, and you say gloop. What gloop is like gulp. Gloop. Okay. And no. But wait a second. So it was right, and now you're making it wrong? What is it with this second guessing today? Guys, you got to trust your instincts. Born to Iron Man. I'm going to stick with your first answer, and I'll just ignore that second answer because the first one was perfect. Unless I'm missing something. All right. This is round two of today's Spelling Bee. We are visiting Portland, Oregon today. Portland, Oregon. This is up in the northwest of the United States, California. It's right over California. All right. If you're familiar with California, a lot of people will know where that state is. Well, it's right over it. All right, here we go. The number one city, as far as population is concerned, is also, I believe, the capital. Well, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I've never been to this state, but it is gorgeous. In fact, it's known for the Oregon Trail, which is a 3,490, so almost 3.5 3.5 kilometer. No, not 3.5. Yeah, because a kilometer. No. 3,000, almost 3,500 kilometers. That's crazy. And well, it was a large wheeled wagon route. You know, that one of the routes people use to go, cross the Missouri River, and they went into the valleys of what is the Oregon Territory. And part of the Oregon Trail crosses not only through Oregon, but through Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming. It's one of our, in the United States, as you know, we've got a lot of natural wonders. Well, the Oregon Trail is one of those that, man, there's just so much to be discovered, from rivers to mountains. And it's one of our more popular national parks. If you've never heard of it, I remember studying it in history, actually, because we used to study it, the migration of the people, moving across the Oregon Trail and what they would find and what life was like back in those times. All right, round two of today's Spelling Bee. This is for the rest of us here. The first one is Portland, and the population is 622,882. The next one, Eugene, and the population there is 178,056. The third most populous city is Salem. There's another one of those in Massachusetts, which is very popular. And the population here is 177,928. The fourth most populous city is Gresham, and the population there is 109,423. The fifth one is Hillsboro, and the population there is 107,976. And the last one is Bend, and the population there is 106,184. So aside from practicing our spelling, we're also practicing numbers as well. And we were looking at pie charts and graphs and all that jazz. Okay, are you ready for round 3? No, I'm just kidding. I hit the wrong button. It's time for a quick commercial break, amigos. When we come back, we're going to take a look at our double trouble. We'll also see if anybody else got our spelling bee. We've got our Say What soundbite for the 4th time. We've got Name That Movie, famous birthdays, and so much more. So, if I were you, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, an exciting place to learn English, among other things. Sure, you can learn a little bit of everything here on the show with no name and all our amazing programs. This is just one of many, many awesome programs. People and programs I will vouch for. Que pongo la mano en el fuego. Very dramatic in Spanish. We say vouch, como un voucher, un vale. Doy un vale por él. Él vale. Right? To vouch for somebody. And I can vouch for all the amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. You'll hear all different accents, all different perspectives, all different outlooks on life. And I think that's what makes language learning interesting as well. You know? Jimena Holiday is not going to have the same story I have. Even though we speak the same language, we come from different universes. And we're friends. Isn't that cool? That common thread, that glue, ese pegamento que nos une, is our curiosity, we want to be entertained. We like being entertained. We like entertaining in our classes. Who doesn't want to be entertained? Come on. Or you want me to just say, now let's look at the present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous. Shut up. We play. If I want to teach you the present perfect continuous, I'm going to sing a song. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. Ahí tienes el presente perfecto continuo. I've been, más el gerundio, I've been thinking about you. I don't remember the artist, but I know you all know the song. And if you know the song, then you know the structure you'll need for the present perfect continuous. And I think that's absolutely perfect. All right, amigos, I'll stop with the corny jokes only because it's time for today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, I'm sorry. I got to make a triple trouble jingle because lately we've been upping the ante, subiendo el listón. And, I'm going to give a nice round of applause to your classmate, Elena. Oh, yeah. This is Elena's triple trouble that she sent us today. That's right, a triple trouble. And if it's tough, don't shoot the messenger. Elena's the one who sent it to me. I thought it was good enough to go on the air. I think it's a great one. It's got some really totally native vocabulary. And here we go. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. Okay. No resultará, right? No dará frutos. No será fructífero, no? No resultará. Será flor de un día. Mira, es expresión en español también. It's not flower of a day. Ahora, ¿me pasas la sartén? ¿Quieres? All right, so let's go. Vamos por partes. So, no resultará. Okay, no estará fructífero. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, no saldrá nada, right? No dará resultado. Okay, it's a great phrasal verb you gave us, Elena. I love it. Okay, so no resultará, no terminará en nada. ¿No? Será flor de un día. Ahora, ¿me pasas la sartén? ¿Quieres? All right. Excellent, Elena. I love it. All right. Also, I've got to give you today's Say What soundbite for the fourth time. Nobody has gotten it yet. So let's see. Let's see if anybody can get it here after the fourth go.
So at this kickboxing event, they had a facility of like 30,000 people. When the word got out I was going to be there, they sold it out in like 5 hours. And it was amazing because, you know, crowds don't make me nervous.
Hello, my name is Fitz, and I'm an Irishman. I'm a very Irishman. And very soon, that's going to be a very important day in my life.
It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by our buddy Fitz. Mark your calendars. Tuesday, April 1st at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña. Follow us on social media for more information.
This, my friends, is a pint of beer. Is pionta bior esho. Is pionta bior esho. Sláinte.
There you go, Fitz. Telling you straight from the horse's mouth, directamente de la fuente. We'll be drinking some beer. We'll be having some fun at our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It is April 1st. Don't miss it. All right, let's see who's commenting here. Open Water says, oh my God, that was hellish. You nailed it, Born to Iron Man, referring to today's spelling bee, which was, in fact, hellish. Numbers always make it a little more hellish. Born to Iron Man says, the Portland Trail Blazers, isn't it? Yeah, y de ahí podemos ver la palabra pionero. Yeah, you can say pioneer, but you can also say a trailblazer, somebody who paves the way, allana el camino, a trailblazer. The only basketball team I know, well, I'm sure you know the LA Lakers too, Pau Gasol. The LA Lakers are kind of like the most famous team. The New York Knicks, they're famous because of maybe the logo or the stadium, Madison Square Garden, but they never really win anything, you know. And then the team that I used to see a lot when I was growing up was the New Jersey Nets, which are now the Brooklyn Nets. So remember, that would be like, you know, el Real Madrid de Huelva. And you're like, what, hang on, what? Well, they bought them. They bought the franchise. Yeah, I know you guys that you can't even fathom that. No se entra ni en la cabeza esa. You're like, what? I know. Let's see. Open Water says, speaking of the Oregon Trail, I recommend the Yellowstone series. Oh yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that Yellowstone series. Well, thanks for the recommendation. Ladies and gentlemen, we've also got another winner in today's Spelling Bee. It's Chris Valrol. So give it up for Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol. Also, Chris is my researcher. You're checking out the research. I've been thinking about you. It's by London Beat. Awesome, Chris. I knew I could count on you. There's German. German says, it won't pan out. No resultará. It's a flash in the pan. Correcto. Can you hand me the pan? German, you nailed it. You nailed it. It won't pan out. I think this one comes from when you're looking for gold, right? Cogían, they used to get a pan in the river, and nothing panned out. Okay, nada salió. No había resultado, right? So it won't. How did things go? They didn't pan out. No salieron, right? So it won't pan out. Think of Peter Pan. It's a flash in the pan. A flash in the pan is something that's just famous or just, talked about for a short time, right? Like a one-hit wonder, it makes me think of, like Vanilla Ice or, Informer, so that is no me aga blam. What's his other song? What's the name of the album? Exactly. So a flash in the pan. Great expressions, Elena, and great job, German. And he says, can you hand me the pan? Excellent, German. You nailed it. Open Water says it won't pan out. Fijaos que lo uno, pan out. It won't pan out. It will be just a flash in the pan. Now, could you hand me the frying pan? Excellent. Daniela, it's not going to pay off. It's just a flash in the pan. Could you pass me the pan, please? You didn't use a triple trouble, but the translation is correct. Pay off, estar frutos. But you could say pan out. Y así usamos esto 3 veces to pan out. Born to Iron Man says it won't pan out. It'll be a flash in the pan. Te falta Born to Iron Man in the. Si no, no es la expresión, right? It won't pan out. It'll be a flash in the pan. Would you mind passing me the pan, please? All right. Wonderful job, amigos. And thank you very much to Elena. If you guys would like to participate, not only in the question of the week, which we're looking at your favorite board games, that'll be our next one. But if you'd also like to give us share something, one of the double troubles you have learned or a triple trouble, please feel free to send me anything. My email address is aalonso@grupovon.com. And that was great. We looked at 3 different expressions there to pan out, right? The second one, it'll be a flash in the pan. And the last one, could you pass me, could you hand me the pan or the frying pan? Excellent job. Also, as I said today, we are taking a look at Oregon. And why did I choose Oregon? Well, I know nothing about Oregon, so we can start with that so I could learn some things. But also today in 1859, it was admitted as the United States of America's 33rd state. That's right. And since it's in the Pacific Northwest, that's a very beautiful, very just beautiful landscapes, very lush, muy verde. I mean, it rains a lot up there, but it's like everything. You take the good with the bad. Oregon, there's a reason there are national parks there, and it's such a beautiful state. I've never been to, but I'd love to at least visit, or at least, say I've been there for a couple days to check it out. I know you can't see the whole thing in a couple of days, but it's pretty manageable. I mean, Portland, our first city, Portland, Oregon, as Born to Iron Man said, the Trailblazers. That's the most important city. And it's not always the same where the capital is the most important city. Sacramento is the capital of California. Yeah, see what I mean? Albany is the capital of New York. So in this case, it does match up. And it's a manageable population. It's 622,882, 622,882. The second one is Eugene, Oregon. Then you've got Salem, Gresham, Hillsborough, which a lot of these names you'll see used over and over. You probably recognize Salem from Massachusetts, right? The Salem witch trials. Hillsborough, it also reminds me of a stadium disaster, the Hillsborough Stadium disaster. And the last one is called Bend. And bend, that's an interesting one because it's doblar, es plegarse, but also a bend in the river, right? A bend is una curva. A bend in the road. It's just another way of saying the word curva. All right, my amigos, we are going to the movies. Name that movie. Yes. All right, here we go, folks. I'm going to give you a little synopsis, and we'll see if you recognize today's flick. All right, a failed businessman, okay? A failed businessman, fracasado, is hired, contratado, is hired by the army to teach a group of underachieving recruits que no dan la talla, right? If you're an overachiever, you achieve, no tienes muchos logros. If you're an underachiever, haces lo mínimo o menos, right? So a group of underachieving recruits. The verb is to recruit someone, but also the person is called a new recruit. Lo decimos no solo en la mili, pero en un trabajo. Oh, we got a few new recruits in the marketing section. Okay. So underachieving recruits, in order to, esto es una forma muy formal de decir to, right? Para hacer tal cosa, con el fin de. In order to help them pass, aprobar, basic training. Basic training is the first training you'll do if you go into the military, right? Boot camp is another way to say it. It's that first initial training. So now that we know all the words, let me put them all together. A failed businessman is hired by the army, contratado por el ejército, to teach a group of underachieving recruits in order to help them pass basic training. All right, let's see if anybody's got it here. Good one, Elena. Born to Iron Man says Salem is in Valencia too. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Se pronuncia Salem? I imagine it would be pronounced because you don't have that hard A, Salem. That's interesting. All right, we've got a winner here. It's Chris Valrola, movie queen. The movie is Renaissance Man. That's right. Renaissance Man is our movie. And let's take a look at what we've got here. Now, he's reading a passage about why they joined the army. ¿Por qué se unieron al ejército? And Private Tommy Lee Haywood, private is soldado raso, if I'm not mistaken, which is interesting because private es privado, es particular, si hablamos de una clase, pero confidencial, pero también es soldado raso, private, okay? And your private parts, so it's a pretty rich word there, all right? So Private Tommy Lee Haywood says, there's these woods behind our trailer park. Okay, woods, bosque. There's these woods behind our trailer park. Trailer park es un camping donde puedes vivir en tu casa. And he goes, this old guy lives in the woods there. Un hombre mayor vive ahí en el bosque. Everybody in town swore he was crazy. Todo el mundo juró en el pueblo que él era loco. Everybody in town swore he was crazy. He showed me how to hunt. Me enseñó cómo cazar. And how to be real quiet. Estar muy silencioso. No quieto, quieto still. And how to listen. He said he had seen everything in the world he wanted to see. And he had never, pero dicho mal dicho, he ain't never wanted to leave those woods. Nunca quiso salirse de ese bosque. Well, me and my daddy got laid off at the paper mill. Mi padre y yo fuimos despedidos. To get laid off. To get laid is triunfar, mojar, you say in Spanish. Okay, to fornicate. He got laid. Oh, wow, congratulations. Right? But to get laid off, ¿cómo cambia la palabra con un off ahí? At the paper mill. And a mill es una fábrica. Okay, another way of saying a factory. The paper mill. And mientras, I say while, pero hay gente que dice whilst I spent about 5 months watching TV with my brothers. I kept thinking of what the old man said. Finally, I decided that I did want to see more of the world and what was behind that trailer park. And that's why I joined up. So he wanted to expand his world. He knew that if he didn't go to the army, he wasn't going to see the world. He was just going to stay at that trailer park and be a poor guy his whole life. And he figured this was, well, that's, guys, I don't, I'm no expert here, but I've heard, and it seems logical that the army, the armed forces in general, In the United States, well, they're looking for people who don't have many options. And they're saying, okay, well, you're not sure what you want to do with your life. You don't like studying. You don't. Well, guess what? We'll give you some direction, at least some discipline. So it depends on, for people who are a bit lost or don't have means, los medios, that's their option. That's their target audience, obviously. So then Private Miranda Myers says, I liked living with my Aunt Mavis in Chicago, the best. She says, but last summer, my mother, Ruthie, came back and we drove to Atlanta. She said, we don't have to stay long. But then she met a man and they take off. Y se piraron. I waited around for a while, esperé por ahí un rato, waiting for her to come back. But everybody kept saying, just go on home. Vete a casa. I don't know where that is. So I take the bus to Cleveland and spend 2 days staring at the poster behind the driver saying, be all you can be. That's the Army's slogan, their motto. Sé todo lo que puedes ser, no tu potencial máximo. Be all you can be. So I think about that for a week, and I think I gotta be somewhere. So here I am. Aquí estoy. All right, amigos, it's time to move on, though, because it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, it's famous birthdays. We got to go quick here. The first person toca el bajo para Pearl Jam. Bajo, how do we say el bajo? Bass or bass? It's bass. Bass is the fish. We looked at it in our homophones. So he is the bass player of the group Pearl Jam. I love Pearl Jam. And he co-wrote some of the biggest hits. Jeremy Spooky on Glass City. Also Dissident, Nothing Man, Oceans. I love that one. And so many more. This guy is a master in the pantheon of grunge rockers from also the Northwest. We were just talking about Oregon. Well, Washington State is up there where Seattle is as well. So that's the same kind of neck of the woods. La misma zona. All right. Number 2, this actress is a femme fatale. You probably know her from Total Recall, from Casino, also from Basic Instinct. Basic Instinct, hello? Yeah. Alpha Dog. She's been in so many movies, and she is extremely talented. And last but not least, this guy kicks ass. I mean, literally, because he's a martial artist, and figuratively, because everybody loves this guy, it seems. And also, when they want to talk about strength, they use this guy as strength, indifference, being a tough guy. This is the reference. In El Hormiguero, they used El Hombre de Negro. In our culture, in the United States, we use this guy who fought against Bruce Lee and many, many other people as well. And I think I love how they pronounce this guy's name in Almeria. His first name is Lanzar. All right. Let me give them to you, because if not, we are going to run out of time. Number 1, Jeff Ament, the bass player in Pearl Jam. Number 2, Sharon Stone. And number 3, I'm joking, Chuck Norris. And that's going to bring us over to our Say What soundbite. This is Chuck Norris. And he says, so at this kickboxing event, they had a facility, una instalación, of like 30,000 people. When the word got out, cuando se enteró la gente, when the word got out, buena expresión, I was going to be there, que yo iba a estar ahí, they sold it out in like 5 hours. Se agotó en 5 horas. It was amazing, you know? Crowds don't make me nervous.
So at this kickboxing event, they had a facility of like 30,000 people. When the word got out I was going to be there, they sold it out in like 5 hours. And it was amazing because, you know, I crowds don't make me nervous.
Hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Excellent job today, Show with No Namers. Wonderful job. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciate all your participation, all your energy, all your effort. Stay tuned, and you can learn and laugh with my friend Jimena Holiday. All right, today we're going to look at Jeremy, a Pearl Jam song, probably the one that put them on the map globally. And it starts at home, drawing pictures, at home, drawing pictures, dibujando dibujos of mountaintops, de cimas, de montes, with him on top, con él encima. Lemon yellow sun, el sol de limón amarillo. Arms raised in a V, sus brazos levantados en una V, no, la de Victoria. So what an awesome song. I hope you'll sing along with me. It's Pearl Jam's Jeremy Spoken. Sing it. At home, drawing pictures. You got it. At home, drawing pictures of mountaintops with him on top. Lemon yellow sun, arms raised in a V.